This is the Ninjutso Sora V2, a mouse that has been re-released 3 times in just over a year, from the original to the 4000Hz version, and now the V2 supports up to 8000Hz polling rate. I recently crowned the Sora 4K as the best mouse of 2023. I think it's a perfect mouse. I even use it as my main, and I genuinely believe this mouse makes my aim so much better. But I'm worried about the V2 because it's changed. Before I get to the earth-shattering changes, this mouse contains a sensor, a 3395 paired with a Nordic MCU to be exact, which allows this mouse to support up to 8000Hz polling rate when the dongle was available, whenever that might be. Now, the 8000Hz polling rate isn't really a key feature of this mouse. There are far more interesting things that I think could make this mouse the absolute best. This mouse is using the best optical switches around, which are made by Omron. Here's a quick sound check. These switches are quite light, similar to old mechanical Omron switches, but they have the added benefit of being optical, which means that they shouldn't double click and will be more reliable. These are far superior than most of the other optical switch options that are available. If you haven't tried these, you really should. I cannot praise these enough. Now let's take a look at the shape change. The Sora V2 has a few millimeters shaved off in some areas. It had a minor length adjustment, but the biggest change is with the hump width, which I've measured to be around a 2mm reduction. This might have some impact on whether or not you might find the mouse comfortable. After my own experience with this mouse, you might be surprised. I will share my thoughts in detail a bit later. And because of this size reduction, it's had an impact on the weight. The weight of my Sora V2 with feet applied is around 41.23 grams. There you go, you should be able to see it now. And it's done this with no holes. Finally though, the somewhat interesting change is the software has moved to the World Wide Web. No need to download some buggy software, but you might need to download a new browser as it only supports Chrome or Microsoft Edge? Damn, this part is like the old internet. Alright, I'm bored. So the reason why I actually started finding the Sora 4K comfortable after disliking the original is because of the shape and my change in grip style. I normally preferred an ergo mouse as it would be more comfortable for my heavy palm grip, but over the past couple of years there's been a rise of more symmetrical shapes. As I've had to use these a lot more, this has led to me relaxing a bit when holding a mouse. The Sora 4K still provided a nice resting point for my palm. Combine that with my more relaxed finger placement, I found this mouse just effortless to move around, and it just felt great in my hand. Oh yeah, there's another change I almost forgot about. The main buttons have grooves for your fingers. That's it. So, what about this updated Sora V2? Well, it pretty much felt the same. The size reduction in the hump isn't as impactful as I thought it would be. It still sits securely in my hand and it's not really noticeable. I even think this shape is good for all grip types. You might have to adjust slightly, but I feel once you get used to it, you're going to be happy with it. But what was noticeable was the weight reduction, and this actually caused me a slight problem. My Sora weighed around 50 grams. I thought the 9-gram reduction wasn't going to be that much of a big deal, but it really was. I normally use a fast mousepad, either a glass one or my current favourite, the Fantech StrikePad Pro. The V2 and the StrikePad combined just made my aim incredibly floaty. It felt like there was no resistance at all, so I was constantly correcting my tracking. So I swapped out the StrikePad for the Vaxi PA and it felt perfect. I really needed that stopping power of a cloth pad to get used to the weight, and it feels a lot more balanced. Now, in my best mouse of 2023 video, I crowned the Sora 4K as the winner, and I said that I played better with it, and that still applies with this Sora V2. The Sora V2 just feels like a perfect mouse. Everything on it feels polished. The side buttons and scroll wheel match the quality of the main buttons and switches, and it feels like a premium tier product. You can't help but feel if this was made by a bigger brand, they would push the price up to the $130 mark for the standard version. Don't do this, Ninjutso. I'm warning you. Now, I do have a minor rant to go through in a moment. First though, the price of the Sora V2 is around $100. Without the 8000Hz dongle. I haven't seen a price for that either. But the Sora 4K was around $120, so hopefully the additional dongle keeps it around that same price. Honestly, just like the Sora 4K, this is an incredible mouse, and it's probably going to be my main for the foreseeable future. So I obviously recommend getting the Sora V2, but should you buy it if you own one of the previous Soras? If you have the original Sora, yes, this is a substantial upgrade and you will not be disappointed. If you have the Sora 4K, I would say it's probably best to save your money. I don't think the changes are impactful enough to get you out of bronze. Finally, I just want to have a little rant. The Sora 4K is perfect. The Sora V2 is even better. So we don't need another one. You've made 3 in just over a year. Just stop. Give us what we really want. A new Katana Superlight. Thank you. I also recently reviewed a cool rapid trigger keyboard. You should watch that video. It's literally on the screen right now.